All right, Carolyn, the second question I'm going to ask you is, what do you believe to be the most difficult issues faced by the city pertaining to the wildlife corridor? And what tools or incentives, if any, would you suggest using to overcome these obstacles?
I think there are quite a few things that are difficult in something like this. One of these is that the wildlife corridor diagonally crosses our city between the ranches and city center. It crosses every major road that currently exists or will exist in the future. And so we have to find ways for the residents and the wildlife to coexist. And I think some of the tools that we've been able to put together to assist with this are the infrared technology for the wildlife that are crossing SR 73. I think it's been wonderful that the city has been able to be involved with testing and trying out that new technology. And then also we have overpasses and underpasses planned for a lot of these roads, and it's great if we can know up front that we want to put these things in and plan for them as we're planning developments or expansions to these roads. And I think this is really important, both for the safety of the wildlife that's migrating across these roads, and then also for the safety of the residents with wildlife and automobile accidents. I think one of the other difficulties with the wildlife corridor is that a lot of this goes through private land. It would be great if the city just owned this land and we could just do what we wanted with it. But we don't, and it's valuable land, and most of it is planned to be developed at some point in the future. It creates a financial sacrifice to these developers. The wildlife corridor is going through areas of land where they have traditionally crossed in the past, and some of this is prime building land and maybe not where we would engineer it if it was up to us completely. So I think one of the tools that we can use for this is that we can be proactive, that we can go to these landowners, that we can explain what we're trying to do with the corridor as soon as possible, so that as they're contemplating development of their land, that they incorporate the wildlife development in the first draft and actually plan around it and incorporate it into their development instead of trying to retrofit it into the development where it might be difficult. Some of the tools that we can offer for the developers are, we can give additional density in other areas of the development to offset some of the units that they're not able to build in the wildlife corridor. And then we can also use it, obviously, to go towards some of their open space requirements for the development. What I have seen is, with some planning and some creativity and some dedication, that a wildlife corridor running through a development makes it really unique and desirable. It's just great to be able to have the proximity and the rural feel and the novelty of having this open space and this wildlife right in your backyard. The other thing that I'm a big proponent for is nature trails in proximity to the corridor. I would love to see signage to educate the public about the wildlife, about the corridor itself. Why do we have this big swath of undeveloped land running through our city, and what's its significance, and help them appreciate what it's there for. I'd love to see developers get excited about creating something really unique along the corridor in our city. I would also love to see developers and the public be educated about the amenities that they have, and have them love and appreciate these amenities, the open space and the trails that we have, and then have a commitment from them to help protect them, have an appreciation for them, and have an enthusiasm for the stewardship of the wildlife in our city.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate those insights.